There was recent research that was published about customer January 2021 in a blog called Customer Churn. Basically, they said that in B2B organization, they're successfully able to reduce the churn by identifying at-risk customers early. And this is what this probability quadrant is going to tell you. How probable are they to renew with you? And so anybody that's on the bracket that they might not renew and that you can move towards by awesome relationship, move towards a less likelihood to renew, that's really the goal with this health score. Today, I'm just going to focus on the number one question that's on everybody's mind. And can I prevent churn with a customer health score? Before we start, I'd like to remind everyone, subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the great videos that we produce on customer success. Just in general, for those of you who don't know, churn in general, how many customers did I have at the beginning of the month? How many did I have at the end or left me? That's just basically the churn. The problem with we don't have any tool to help us prevent, let's say we do have a 5% churn consistently and we think, whoa, we're doing great. If we have another company against you, you're actually doing great against someone that maybe has a 20% churn, because you could see that over time, all of you acquire like the same amount of customers. Because of that churn, the gap between you and your competition is going to be significantly bigger as the years go by. So that's why it's always important to minimize that gap over time. So how do we prevent it? So most of you are thinking about preventing it by looking at different metrics, but at the core of it, we're trying to achieve success for our customers, because we know that if we truly achieve success, they will not leave us. That's the premise. So it's really important to get familiar with a formula for customer success. The formula says if we are able to deliver the desired outcome with an appropriate experience, and so if you take both of these components, you will achieve customer success. To anybody here in this webinar that is looking at this formula, you want to really ask yourself, is my health score designed to detect whether I am delivering outcomes as well as the appropriate customer experience?
I'm so glad you mentioned just that formula right there, because I think the majority of the health score models that I see really nail in on customer experience. They discount customer outcomes because it's sometimes just harder to get the customer outcomes. Sometimes you need information back from your customers to do that. But you're spot on that you got to have both in the right kind of makeup in order to really have a model that'll predict retention, growth, and the like.
Creating a customer success is a seesaw between creating a balance, right? Between value and relationship. And the reason we think about it as value as relationship is that it's part of the formula. Value is customer outcomes and relationship is customer experience. So if we can dial in and kind of think about how can we score value and how can we score the relationship in a way that we can even potentially automate it, wouldn't that be lovely? And if we did, what would happen? We need a customer health score and we need to forecast renewals, right? And really say that the health score is an indication of renewals, yes or no. And to reduce churn, the health score should provide us with an indication of what is the strength of the relationship. Is it a significant, valuable relationship to the client? And then the other aspect is what is the level of value that the customer is deriving from that relationship? And why is that important? Here's how it is being impacted. If they get maximum outcomes and the most appropriate experience, they're not going to renew, but they're also going to grow and become great advocates for us. You will see from this quadrant that unfortunately, the number of customers that fall into this bracket is typically smaller than everybody else. So it is our job as CSMs to continuously drive as many people to go into this bracket. Unfortunately, though, if we provide awesome relationships and they still don't get maximum value or high value, just A preliminary value, think about year one. They might be at risk of churn, but they will give us notice. So let's say they're looking for a certain feature or a certain capability. They can't find it. They don't think you can. They will at least let you know, hey, is this something you can add to your roadmap? Or they will let you know that we don't understand how to do this. Can you show us how? But they will be still engaged with you. And so you will minimize churn quite a bit with this one. Unfortunately, if you have a very weak relationship, you are likely to lose it to a customer without notice or have them completely churn. So our jobs as CSMs is to move them to these brackets as best we can. And then the health score is really designed to say, what bracket will they fall? And can I move as many of them to this half of the quadrant so I can control the churn rate as much as possible?
That's oftentimes helpful because, even like sometimes that notice is really long term. I've seen cases where somebody says, you have this now, we're in a 12-month, a 24-month contract. If I'm going to renew at the end of that, you need to have this. And that gives you, in some cases, a long time to actually, build the thing that you need in order to have that. So that is a key place to start if you're not there yet.
100%.